Easy people, hope everyone's having a good morning. It is 9 AM here in the historic city of Peterborough, Middle England you could say, and today we are going for a walking tour of the town centre. Now I'm not going to give you the official narrative of things, that's not what I'm interested in, that's not what I'm all about. I prefer to let the buildings be our narrative. Let's take a little wander and see what the buildings can tell us about the city of Peterborough. So just as we're wandering into the centre of town, we're seeing lots of the roofs that would have had ornamentation on top in their original concept. And also I just want to bring attention to this beige colour brick, because I've spoke a lot about the red brick, Tartarian culture brick, iron ore, but this brick is also made of iron ore. So it has the potential to store energy, hold the ions. And this is crucial when harnessing electromagnetic energy from the ether. See these tall chimney stacks. Now there is some evidence to suggest that they weren't used for releasing smoke from an open fire. Perhaps they would have had some sort of metal plate at the bottom, and the antenna would have channeled the energy down to this metal plate, what would have bounced off and in some way charged these bricks, these iron ore bricks, like I say, that has the potential to hold this electromagnetic energy. So there we have, just in the background you can see the greeny blue copper domes, which again is a great conductor of energy. And then on the top you have the, just get out of the way here before I get run over. You have there's a weathercock on top now, but when these buildings were originally built, you would have had a much larger antenna, perhaps iron, perhaps copper itself again, which are great conductors of the energy. But this bluey green roof, this copper dome, is what we find all over the old world buildings. So the architecture all around the city is fascinating really, and we see the stone ornamentation on top. You would assume that it wouldn't be able to conduct the energy, but it's what's underneath the stone, like a Tesla coil that would bring the energy down rather than it coming through the stone. And we see this all around Peterborough. This building just to the side of the church that we've just seen, you can see the chimney stacks have had a modern day furnace added on to give it the impression that that's what they were used for. But these stacks are from that iron ore brick that we looked at earlier, the beige bricks, that is a great conductor of electromagnetic energy. Now without the modern day furnace, just imagine a huge antenna being in there, and you've got this energy buildings all around the whole of Peterborough is pretty much like this. So we'll continue on because there's a cathedral as well, which I'm really looking forward to showing you. So again, this building just at the side of the church we were looking at. I always look at this now with fresh eyes, the archways, because it needs some sort of magnet to be able to charge this energy, and these archways are perfect for it. As I say, you can imagine the coil being inside the stone, because the stone itself wouldn't be able to conduct the energy, but all it would need is just a coil in each of these pillars running down sideways, creating the magnetism, and that would be our magnet to store the energy. There's also a date written on there, 1671, big sign at the top which is Latin. Again, Latin holds many secrets to this old world, this Tartarian culture that we've lost along the way. And just to the side of it, the red brick that is synonymous with the Tartarian culture. Beautiful building, lots of ornamentation on the top, chimney stacks. Just really everywhere you look within this little square that we're in at the moment, it's littered with the Tartarian culture. Just to the side of where we were, cast iron weathercock, battery cylinder, banks in all towns, cities across the UK really have taken these old buildings and repurposed them. That's what we find. They get sort of privileged access to these buildings, these grade listed buildings, and then they repurpose them, and that's how we lose the original meaning of these places. Look at this. Wow. Stunning, absolutely stunning cathedral. Again, synonymous with the word cathode, which I encourage you to look at. This repurposing of old world buildings. But here we have so many things to grab our attention. Of course, the Antiquitech at the top, spires, even cylinders here that could be the provider of magnetism. Lots of them everywhere. There was even smaller ones just behind me in the archway just back there that crisscross. We'll go back and have a look at them after so you can see those ones. But everywhere you look, the building just has energy possibilities, and that is why we suggest that cathedrals were really the power stations, the ones that were harnessing the most amount of this electromagnetic energy. If you imagine that each one of these cylinders contains these cast iron rods that travel all the way up and back round in an arch, coming back down, providing a magnetic energy field that would generate an incredible amount of power. With the chimney stacks where you can see 6 in a row, would it really needed to have 6 separate chimney stacks, or would it have been 6 separate antennas providing much more energy? And it's the same over here with the building just opposite. You can see more modern day sort of chimney stacks. Again, even to the ones just there to the side of it. We'll go around and take a closer look so we can see those ones. It's these lower level windows. You know, I have a fascination with the mud flood potential. Same just up here, you know, repurposing, bringing the doorway level up from where it was originally. So if you just imagine this being another window, and then you can see the rendering that's been added at a later date and made into a door. This is how the repurposing's done. When you see a doorway there, just look to see if the rendering on the outside of the door is modern. This is the repurposing. It's just a little bit of information about the cathedral. Said it was completed in 1238, topped by the statue of St. Peter, to whom the cathedral is dedicated and after whom Peterborough is named. There you go, didn't know that. Learn something new every day. It says there this cathedral is the heart of the city. Cathedral cathode, yeah, being the ancient power station, it would be the heart of the city. In all major cities across the realm where you find these cathedrals, cathodes, they would have been the main conductor of this electromagnetic energy. So just in this little archway that I was speaking about earlier, so this is what I mean about the coils. It's really outside ornamentation that you wouldn't just put it there for decoration. It doesn't serve any purpose just to look at on the eye, unless it does serve a purpose that we're not told of. And this is what I'm saying about the coils being inside these stone magnets. It's exactly the same principle as a magnet. And again, just looking up at the ceiling, you see how it intersects and crisscrosses. So this would generate even more of a stronger energy field to harness the electromagnetic energy. There we go, perfect timing. We're just here for the bells chiming out. We'll let that play for a moment. Even the sound and the frequency wave that is producing, it's really harmonic. And as I've said in previous videos, these places now of worship and healing were healing, but through the sound of the organs that were in these buildings, because they would literally, the sound that is produced, the vibrations, the frequencies, would heal your organs. And that is where the name of the instrument we find in these buildings comes from. Here's a really good example of repurposing. We find this a lot, where the doorways lead up to the new level. And this weathercock that we see on, the cast iron weathercock, you know, just imagine a huge antenna there being transmitting this energy. I'm fascinated by it, you know. I really get excited when I see it, because now with fresh eyes, when you're looking at these things, you can't help but notice it everywhere. It really is in all of the old towns and cities, even in some of the most insignificant places, like I showed you from my hometown in Leighton Buzzard. Not important on the grand scheme of things, but much of this old world antiquitech is all around the place. Just at the side of the cathedral, we see the cylinders all along that really do not serve any purpose. You know, just to say that they're put there just to make the building look a little better, it doesn't really add up. It doesn't make sense unless they do serve a purpose. Look at these huge archways just at the side of the cathedral. On the outside, serving absolutely no purpose whatsoever. Unless, as we keep referring to, they do have an ulterior purpose. Here we just have some information of the Lady Chapel, demolished in 1650. Unfortunately, that is really common with these old world buildings, that they've gone through many restoration projects, had much of the antiquitech lost, repurposed, which is a real shame, but there's still enough at these sites, at these buildings, to give us a picture of things and perhaps their real purpose. As the bells are chiming and producing this frequency sound wave within the building, the energy that would produce is electrifying. You know, what an expression. Actually thinking about that electromagnetic energy, the frequency would be electrifying to us. I think there's some real truth in that saying, you know. Even now, as I just stand on the outside hearing it, I really feel the energy it's producing, you know. Electrically charged, the vibrations are reacting within my own electromagnetic field, and this is truly how it works. This is what our auras are, an electromagnetic field, a current that sort of runs continuously this way and outwards as well, just producing the magnetic field. Again, a beautiful building just on the side here. The cathedral was just down that way, but the greeny colour copper dome with the antiquitech on the side, and the red brick iron ore Tartarian culture. The size of these chimney stacks. Would there be any real need to build chimney stacks that high? The work when these buildings were supposedly built would be difficult, to say the least. So is there any need to build up chimney stacks so high unless they serve an ulterior purpose? So we're just here some 400 metres from the cathedral on the River Nen, and we always find running water not too far away from these cathedrals and the power stations, because they are used in the process of this electromagnetic energy. And this building just at the side, I just want to bring your attention to it. Look at the cylinder, the spire and the copper dome. Really, when you actually look at it, it doesn't have any purpose other than decoration. Now really, in the old world, would they be building all of these domes with these antennas on top just for decoration, unless they serve the purpose? That is a question that I feel really, with reflection, gives us the answers that we're looking for. Check out this beautiful red brick building, guys, just as we're walking away from the city centre. So many of these along the streets and the side streets. You can see the antenna, weathercock, there it is then, but you can see where the antenna would have been, the Tartarian red brick. And these buildings really are everywhere in Peterborough. It is a fascinating old city. Really encourage you, if you're local, to get out and look again with fresh eyes, see what you think. Here's something that they do quite a lot in the UK, is they put a date up on the side of the building, just to fit in with the timeline of events really. This building could potentially be a lot older, and where we see the slate roofing, which is clearly modern, This would have been a copper dome back in the day. The weathercock's still on top, but it would have been a copper dome with an iron antenna. Here's a really good example of the repurposing, where you can see the slate roof there. That would have been the copper dome. The bluey green copper dome, which is a great conductor of the energy. Still has a weathercock on top there, but a copper or iron antenna would have been what would have been there in its original inception, and that is literally just a short distance from where we just were. These are the side streets all along Peterborough, so I think it's fair to say the city itself is an old world Tartarian electromagnetic old world city. So guys, just as we walk away from the city centre, love to know what you thought of the wander through Peterborough, what you thought of the information that was shared. Really a fantastic place. I encourage you to get out and have a look at this wonderful city. And just as I walk away, I stumble across another old world incredible building. It's being used as a pub now, but I dare say that's not what it was used when it was built. But anyway, these buildings are all around the city. Thoroughly enjoyed having a little wander through. Hope you have too. Let me know in the comments what you think of the footage and the information, and I'll catch up with you on the next one. Peace out.